Alright, YouTubers, coming back at you with another unboxing kind of first impressions video. Looking at another good budget offering from CRKT today. They put out some really good budget offerings this year, and I like a lot of the designs, so I thought I'd pick a few of them up. So this one is the Crossbones. My bad. Crossbones, designed by Jeff Park. Jeff Park is actually a student, I guess you'd call it, of Ken Onion. He kind of designed this knife under the tutelage of Ken Onion. So you can see that too when you look at this knife. You see a very Ken Onion-esque looking knife. So let's go over the basics of the knife real quick. We have a 3.536 inch blade, with a nice satin blade there, Aussate steel with a satin finish. Like I said, blade thickness is 0.124. It's very thin blade stock. You have a closed length of 4.5 inches and a weight of 2.4 ounces, so it's super lightweight. So you get a pretty good sized knife for very little weight. Your handle is aluminum, which is tumbled and bee-blasted, and then gray hard anodized. You can see then they polished this area here. It gives it a really cool look. It looks a lot like his custom knife, which is a titanium lock. I believe it's a titanium liner lock as well. So could be a frame lock. I'm not 100% sure on that. So this one is definitely a liner lock, and its overall length open is 8 inches roughly. So very cool. Jeff Park's from Hawaii, like Ken Onion, and he definitely has been under his tutelage for quite some time now. So I've always liked his custom crossbones, and this knife came to market about $60, what I paid for it today at Blade Ops. Shout out to Blade Ops for having these knives in so quickly. So let's go ahead and talk about the steel's not, it's Aussate, nothing spectacular, been around forever. A little bit better than the 8CR13 MOV. CRKT does a pretty good heat treat on that. You also have a few features I forgot to cover real quick. The stainless steel deep carry clip there. It's not quite deep carry. You have a little bit of knife hanging out, which I like. And then you have a lanyard attachment there with it, which is part of the back spacer. Other than that, it's a very open construction, as you can see there. It's nice jimping up here. So, how's the action on this baby? Phenomenal. It's on IKBS. It's super snappy. It's got a great detent. I mean, it just flies out of there. Very smooth out of the box, which, like I said, CRKT does a good flipper. They do really good with the IKBS. So, nice action on that one. Pocket clip I do like. It is, like I said, a deep carry, kind of smallish, but it does give you a little bit of knife to pull onto, which I like, but it's also pretty discreet, so it's overall a good design on the pocket clip. Carries real nicely in the pocket. It's a very slim knife and lightweight, so you really hardly notice it's even in your pocket. Ergonomically, it's a pretty straight handle. There's not a lot of, finger choils or anything. There's actually none. It's very straight, but it's ergonomic. It feels nice in the hand. It's not crazy like, oh man, this is the most ergonomic knife I've ever felt, like my Hinder MP1, guys. This thing, and I'll do a video soon on this, is the most ergonomic knife I think I've ever felt. And you can see the difference in the handle. I mean, this is a weird comparison considering it's a 400 plus knife, but you can see the different the handle design of the MP1 is very designed around the ergonomics of your hand. Not so much with the Crossbones, but it's a very slim knife, so it's kind of hard to do that. But overall, it's not it's not uncomfortable in the hand or anything. It's just not crazy ergonomic. There's no hot spots that you feel or anything in this grip. Reverse grip, same way. It's not. Let's zoom out a little. Let's zoom in. It doesn't have any hot spots. It's a good idea, the size of the knife in the hand. It's a pretty good sized knife. A really long, slender, thinly ground blade. Really like that. The design aspect of this is quite appealing. I think it's really cool, actually. Like I said, I really like the custom version, and they did a great job, kind of on the budget version here, of making it look almost identical to the custom. So you got, like I said, deep carry clip. So overall, the design elements are really cool in this knife. I really dig it. Like the Crossbones kind of idea. The knife itself is kind of the shape of a bone. So that's very cool. If you were to put two of these together, you'd have a crossbone. Very cool on that one. So got a full flat grind on the blade. So actually just a flat grind. I'm not going to call that a full flat, but very nice. Should be a really good slicer. It's very thinly ground and it's very slender and slim. He designed this knife for everyday EDC tasks like opening packages, cutting meat, especially as one of the things. I look at it kind of like, it looks like almost like a fillet knife. If you look at a fillet knife to fillet fish, it seems like it'd be very good at that. So overall, just a good knife for everyday EDC tasks. Good for food prep, good for, you know, just normal stuff we do on a daily basis. It's going to be a really good slicer. So overall, it's made in Taiwan. 60 bucks is a decent price for this knife. I'd like to see a little bit better steel, but even at $60, I can't expect a ton. I mean, maybe 440C as an upgrade. I'd love to see CTS XHP on there, but you know, CRKT doesn't really deal with those steels. They deal with AUS-8 and 8CR13 essentially. So not surprising when it comes to a CRKT knife what you're going to get. This is their wheelhouse. This is what they do. So, and they do it good. They've had a really good year so far. 2017 has been a CRKT year for budget folders. I think they've got the best budget folders out so far this year. So the value is really high on it. It's under, you know, $60 or under. Actually, I think I saw it for 63 on Knife Center. I paid about 60. I think that's a decent price for this knife for the size. It could be a little less expensive, but I think the overall milling and everything that they've done on the handles and anodization and such, and then the smooth action, it makes it worth the money. You know, it's a good value for sure. Comparable knife. For some reason, I only grabbed my MP1. That's what I had on me. But it's actually pretty similar in size, so it's a decent comparison as far as size goes. Another knife I picked up, which I'll do a separate video on here, is a new Kershaw budget folder. This is the Fraction. It's an X. Also a flipper, not assisted, which is cool to see from Kershaw. You can see it's quite a bit smaller knife. It's under a 3-inch blade, just to give you kind of a size comparison. But the MP1 is a 3 1/4 inch blade, and it's about the same size, and this has a 3 over 3 1/2. So your blade to handle ratio on the CRKT is phenomenal. It's very good. It's almost near perfect. I love this kind of design, Quaking-esque, where the knife kind of just disappears in the handle. I always have loved that. Like I mentioned, you have some jimping up top that is functional. It's not overly aggressive. It does grab your thumb a little bit, and you've got some jimping on the liner lock as well as the flipper tab. So overall, first impressions are pretty solid. This is a good little budget folder. I dig it. I think it's nice. I've always liked this design. So, you know, again, I say this on every CRKT video. Man, I'd like to see this in a premium folder, like a titanium handle, higher end steel. I don't care if it's liner lock, stainless steel, even just do a little titanium on there. But you know, even a better steel would be great. But for a budget folder, guys, this is going to be one of the best, I think, that comes out this year. I've been kind of keeping my eye on things, and then CRKT's been killing it with the Vox designs, and now this is a Jeff Park design. And you can see the Canadian influence, like I mentioned. Like, kind of reminds me of the Eros, and the Ripple by Canadian. Very similar feel, especially with the aluminum scales. And for how lightweight it is, man, what a great EDC knife. It's got a good blade size. It's gonna be good for EDC tasks, good for food prep, and it's very lightweight and easy to carry. So overall, a home run, I think, by CRKT on this one. The fit and finish is very good on it. Speaking of this, remember how I had that DPX? I returned that to Blade HQ. That's actually how I ended up with the Hinderer. But look at the grind on this, guys. Getting so many shadows. Let me turn off this light. Let's see if I can. There we go. Got rid of some of the shadows there. Look at that. Perfectly symmetrical on both sides on a $60 knife. Really, not that difficult. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.